Everybody, and welcome to Nick Flanagan Weekly. 4 times a week, but it is weekly. My delivery of it is weak as heck. My name is Nick. I'm here having a lot of fun in my home. Had a big day, drove over to a specialist's office earlier today. It's a specialist I've been to several times. Fascinating stuff is happening in my life right now. If I could get into it, I can get into it slightly. I will tell you that the ADHD accountability study remains a massively wonderful part of my life, and if you ever have the chance to do something like that, I recommend it. I recommend it deeply. I'm feeling pretty good today in spite of the fact that I got 2 days of 6 hours of sleep, and honestly lately I've been one of those little princes who loves to say how much he needs 7 to 9 hours or whatever, but last couple of days was 6-7 hours, but I was up early. Early doesn't feel that great, I'll be honest. It doesn't feel bad, it doesn't feel great. It's all just time to me, man. Does that guarantee I won't be a millionaire? Not in the age of Bitcoin. These are the Bitcoin days. Anyone can be a millionaire if they know how to mine Bitcoin. This show is sponsored by Powerful Moments. Not a product. Just Powerful Moments are the sponsor of this show. This show has gone sober, and the sobriety coach is Powerful Moments. Oh, good God, what am I talking about? Look, let's get real. I'm wearing a clown nose right now, and I'm going to take it off. I don't know why I had that on. Just some fun stuff. Cleaning the basement. Found a clown nose. Thought I could wear it for the remainder of a podcast. Impossible. Let me tell you a story about my life journey. I'm a very lucky, very privileged individual. Lucky to be born in a city with infrastructure and not in some small town where there's just one phone booth and a large man with a club protects it and doesn't let you use it. Born in a city with lots of resources, to a nice family who bought in an area that appreciated in value. And so, when everything went south for me, literally, and I went south to America, and then it went south, metaphorically, and I went north, literally, back to Canada. I was able to come here and regain my footing. And a lot of that does have to do with where I came from, and that's very lucky, and I'm grateful, and I hope that in the future everyone will have access to resources and the ability to take a break, a mental health break when they need to. But right now, all but one of the services that I am availing myself to are either free or covered by health care. Can you imagine that in America that's only happened to old people? The people who need the least help. Those people can take care. No, I'm glad that they're covered, but I just think it's sad that it's so hard to get healthy for free. I think that's in America and lots of other places in the world, and I think that good old Canada is a country where socialized medicine works and don't believe anything otherwise. It's not our fault we have 10 times less the population. What does free healthcare for 300 trillion million people look like? I don't know. China does that, I guess. But all I'm saying is I'm glad we have it because it's really helped me get on track. And so has doing this podcast 4 times a week. I get up, I look forward to it. Sometimes I'll record 2 in a day. I'm really having a good time with it, and I know I haven't really said anything funny yet, but hopefully you feel that you kind of like me or something right now. Yeah, I reviewed the Nicki Minaj record, Queen. I mentioned that the other day, but they finally posted my review at nowtoronto.com. And I stand by it, 3 stars. Nicki Minaj. She builds me up to let me down. That's really the truth of it. I'm so pro Nicki Minaj when she doesn't have an album out. I'm listening to Monster, I'm checking out her guest appearances. Then, as everything is building up, I'm getting excited. All of her guest appearances leading up to the record were solid. They were interesting. The lyrics were fun. Barbie Ting was a cool song. Everything was fun. And then the album comes out and boom, it's just like all the rest of them. A couple of funny tracks, lots of like bragging lyrics, and then these weird like love songs that feel robotic. And I know that I'm a Canadian 38-year-old wearing a clown hat right now, so I'm not her target audience. But truthfully, I kind of am, you know what I'm saying? She's 34. Like, her fan base is probably not intensely young. Unless I would imagine her fan base are like 7 to 12 or 30 plus. So she needs to be proving it to us. And I don't know why I'm so hard on her, and I have to watch myself because she is talented, and I'm not undermining her talent. And if this is her vision, this is her vision. Queen is her vision. It's for a specific set of people, but I don't know, man. I want more good stuff in my life, and I was hoping that would be something I would hear and just driving in my Jeep Wrangler, blasted. But instead, I'm only going to blast some of it. Grrr. Book club? Let's talk about book club. I'm reading Miles Davis autobiography, Miles. I just got out of the library, Driven to Distraction, which is the book that came out before Delivered from Distraction, which is a book about ADHD I was telling you all about. And I got the newest, I think the final John Sarno book, Dr. Sarno, The Divided Mind. So those are 3 books I'm tackling. The Miles Davis one I'm loving. Oh my gosh, what a guy. As my friend Tim Gilbert would say, what an inspirational cat. Miles Davis was just something else. And he came from means. It's such a funny thing about artists. They just to have instruments and classes, you kind of need to come from money. Not all the time, but man, does it help. The creative class has always been upper. Said no one ever. Well, no, I said it, but I just felt like saying, said no one ever felt like the appropriate thing to say. Said no one ever. This. Said no one ever. I love these little internet things, way people talk now because of the internet. Said no one ever. This. What's another one? Checks, notes. That's the kind of stuff people are putting on their tweets these days. Yeah, so book club's exciting. The Miles Davis book is great. Lots of people were doing heroin when the jazz greats were happening. And man, if I drive, I had to drive earlier today. Jazz all the damn way. No Howard Stern. No anxiety. Just the jazz, the smoother the better. Which I guess is partly why I'm doing this, because I thought soothing, royalty-free, because Flea is royalty, of RHCP Dubheps. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to RHCP Dubheps Radio. This is DJ Keydis. Who dis? Keydis. Now I'm here to wish you Merry Christmas. I'm here to wish you funky Merry Christmas. I'm here to wish you funky Merry Christmas. And the booty boppin' and the booty boppin' the booty boppin' doo boo. Like I said, I'm moving. Peace. Oh, I almost sang the Edwin little known hit, Hang 10, instead of Californication. It's understood that Hollywood says Californication. Okay, alright. I am wearing a clown hat right now. That hasn't come off. It's kind of a Rasta clown hat. It's cultural appropriation, but I don't know of whom. Bozo? Big day today. Got a show tonight. Did a show last night. Had a show on Sunday. Performed to almost nobody in the middle of the day. But they were like peers or something, and I had a really good time. I'm excited for that. I almost want to post the audio or the video because I just thought it was such a winning show. But I hope I can keep that confidence for the rest of my life. That's kind of my major fear right now is consistency. I just want to be consistent. I think that's why I'm making 4 of these and writing down the topics and keeping it short is I just want to be as good the day before as I am today. And ideally, I want to understand and believe the things I said yesterday when I hear them the day after, which is what someone said to me once, that when he hears himself on the radio a week later and he agrees with what he's saying, he feels comfortable. And I understand that completely because I feel my views are always shifting. Yesterday, I didn't like Pendulette. Today, I like Pendulette. Ooh, let's talk Omarosa. That feels like a fun way to ride this podcast out. Omarosa Menego is someone who has inexplicably remained famous for years now. Where many Survivor winners could not, where many Rock of Love contestants did not. Vanderpump, jury's out on how famous they'll stay. Jersey Shore, regular people Shore, more like. It is hard to stay relevant as a reality show person. And Omarosa, did she even win The Apprentice? I don't remember, but she was very memorable. And she wasn't memorable for being nice. She was memorable for being awful. She was awful for so long. And then Trump hired her for the White House. And now she was fired and secretly recorded everybody there and is putting it all out there. And it just feels crazy. Everything feels crazy every day. I mean, you can downplay it, sure. You can say that it's secondary to whatever is happening in terms of what America is doing politically, bills being passed, etc. And you'd be right. It is a distraction. But it is wild. It is crazy. And it's also crazy that in the last 20 years, so many forms have come up. And then, I mean, so 1998 was Survivor just starting. It would have been like if someone said, do you know that person Puck? Yeah, the Real World guy? Yeah, he's the Surgeon General now. So with Everett Koop, C. Everett Koop was followed by the other Sanjay Gupta, and now it's Puck. So Puck says smoking is bad. It's just the playing field finally reflects the society that we created. And by God, is it ugly. By gum, is it ugly. You want to talk ugly? Shutting down safe injection sites is ugly. I think. We can't. Literally, what people want is attrition of the population. They want people to get into something until they die so that there's less of them and more of whoever. Survival of the fittest. That's a lot of people's opinions, not me. I say survival of the fattest. PHATTEST. If you got hot beats, enter my world. Well, it's been another edition of Nick Flanagan Weekly. Been great talking to you. Great talking at you. Follow me at the Flans, at Nick Flan Weekly, at Nick Flan, Instagram Nick Flan Weekly, Nick Flanagan. I have 2 albums, White Privilege, and I'm Here All Week. Check them out on Spotify, Nick Flanagan at bandcamp.com, flans.com. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Powerful Moments. And yeah, check out James Hartnett and Katie Crown's new web series, which I believe is called Remy and Dana. I probably got the name wrong. I was calling that show I've been recapping What is America, but it's called Who is America. But Remy and Dana. Remy and Dana. And it's a brand new web series from the amazing Katie Crown, one of my OGs in comedy, one of the funniest people in comedy, currently writing on Bob's Burgers, and James Hartnett, hilarious. Love those two. And their web series is very funny. So check that out. And R.I.P. to Rodney Rampage. Rodney Rampage from DOA. From Annihilator. Just heard you passed. We played a show with DOA, my old band Brutal Nights. And he was so cool. He seemed great. Awesome. Hell of a bass player. Part of a powerful 3-piece, not an easy thing to be. DOA. Metalheads love Annihilator. So, Rodney Rampage, I take a sip for you. Of water. But you get the idea.